Whenever a student enters into the college, the first thing that he is taught by the seniors or friends or some of the rumors that he hears from everywhere is CGPA is not important, CGPA is useless, one should not focus on studying on the subjects, one should explore something else, one should do coding, one should do programming, one should do chill, one should not study anything. All these are the information that is fed into the student's mind, in fresher's mind. But how much is this information correct and up to which extent? So basically today we are going to talk about this particular thing termed as CGPA and how much importance does it hold into one's college life throughout the 8 semesters, if it is engineering, if it is any another branch, respectively of that time span. So hello everyone, my name is Somya Ramani and I am your host for this video, and we will be moving further into the video. So first of all, let me tell you that this video is basically divided into 4 parts. So I will be trying to answer them, or I will be trying to breaking 3 myths about the CGPA thing, and the fourth one will be real life experiences or examples that I have seen in my own case as well as the case of my friends, my colleagues into the college. So tighten your seatbelts and let us move further into the video. So the first question or the first myth that we are going to break or answer is of the question that is CGPA important? This is the first question that we are going to answer based on my experiences and my colleagues' experiences from the past. So this is CGPA important? Answer might be yes, answer might be no, depending on the use case, but let me explain it very clearly, very briefly, with all the assertions and reasons. So if I am supposed to give this answer whether CGPA is important or not, my answer will be for sure 110% yes. Now why this is the case? Let me give you a simple example. You are meeting any college student and you want to measure that whether this student has done anything into the college or not. You will ask him a simple question: what is your CGPA, or what is your aggregate score throughout the semesters that he or she has completed? So this is the simple metric that anyone can ask to measure that how much the student was active or not. See, if the CGPA is low, it does not mean that student has not done anything. He might have achieved something, or he might have developed some really cool skills in terms of programming, in terms of management, irrespective of the domain that he is working. But the CGPA is one thing that can directly relate your performance or your consistency throughout the academics into the college, up to the consistency that you are having in academics. So this is a bitter truth that CGPA is damn important as far as your academics is concerned. And you will, right now you might not relate with my answer, but believe me, stay with the video till the end and I will be able to convince you with the answer that yes, CGPA is important. So yes, this was the case, and let's move to the another question, which is why CGPA is important. So the another question is that why CGPA is the another question, why it is important. If it is important in my case, or if I answer this yes, CGPA is very important, but what is the reason of it being so important? So let us answer this. First one was, is CGPA important? Yes. Then give us a reason that why it is important. So let us answer the another question with that, why CGPA is important. So see, there are mainly two possibilities for majority of the students who are into the college. The first possibility is the student might pursue higher studies and can go for masters, for the studies, research, etc, etc. So if it is the case of higher study or masters or research, CGPA is the most important thing that the candidate should have. Let me give you a simple example again. If you are applying for any foreign university, for example, if you are applying for the university in US, so what they are mainly seeing or observing into the candidate's portfolio, the first thing is the CGPA, because CGPA is the only measure which can tell or answer or denote that how disciplined, how consistent, how technically sound was a candidate in all the subjects that he has studied throughout the bachelor's. So CGPA is the only measure for that. Apart from CGPA, if your CGPA is very good, if you have any research paper publications and all that, they all are add-ons or bonus that you can get. But the first and the most mandatory thing that one should have is CGPA. Okay, this was the first possibility. What about the another possibility, which is placements? Now, believe me, as such, the companies are not saying that CGPA is important. But the first thing is the cutoff that they keep. For example, some companies keep 7.5, some keep 8. I have also seen companies who are keeping the cutoff as 8.5 for just applying into the company, for just giving online assessment of the company. So this is the first thing. Another thing that I will be discussing into the later part of the video is that during the interviews as well, CGPA plays a vital role. I will be explaining this with a dedicated example, real life example in the further part of the video. But CGPA also plays a quite good role into the placements, because see, there is so much competition into the placement into the college, because there are many seats. So if sometimes there is some clash, there is some equality of some scores, so at that time, rather than considering anything else, they directly consider CGPA as the cutoff. So yes, I think these two are the major things in which CGPA plays a vital role. Okay, leave this. Give me a simple answer. How to measure that this candidate was consistent throughout the academic journey? Simple answer. CGPA is the only thing which denotes that you are consistent. Apart from watching any another metric as well. For example, they might see coding profile, your GitHub repositories, commits and all that, to check that whether you are consistent or not in terms of programming and coding. But CGPA is very easy. They will directly ask to college that what is the CGPA of the student. If it is 8, 8.5 is very good, but if it is below than that, okay, he might have done something else because of which he is not having good CGPA. So CGPA is very important, yes, and why? I have given you these reasons why CGPA is very important. Let us move towards the further part of the video. Okay, so now the third myth that we are gonna break is that sometimes CGPA might not play a vital role. Okay, now you might contradict that. Before a couple of minutes you were saying that CGPA is very important, it can make you or give you great advantages, but right now you are saying that CGPA might not play a vital role sometimes. Yes, let me give you this an example as well. uh, all of you might be knowing Striver, right? Raj Vikramaditya, who is one of the best DSA mentor on YouTube right now. He was also not having a good CGPA. He has mentioned into the podcast, in his YouTube videos as well. You might check out his channel that he was also not having that prominent CGPA. Apart from him, I also know some of my seniors who got a package of 54 LPA but having just a CGPA of around 6.7. I'm sorry, 7.7, 7.6. So how they were able to crack this much of high package, high companies, good companies without having good CGPA? So in their case, they were having some particular set of skills in which they were damn good, damn excellent, that this particular prominent skills would overshadow the impact of CGPA. Let me repeat again. They were so skillful that interviewers or the companies or etc. for which they were willing to work, the factor of CGPA was neglected because of there is so much immense excellence into the skills. For example, if I talk of Striver, he is a candidate master on code forces. his grip on data structures and algorithms, his concepts regarding core subjects of operating system, DBMS, etc., whatever you want to consider. He might be so skillful in that, because of which his lower CGPA factor was completely neglected or overshadowed because of this particular thing. So there are cases when CGPA does not play a vital role, but you have to think in your case whether you are that damn skillful or not, that you can neglect CGPA and just focus on another things of which you are doing right now, whether it be programming, coding, or any another thing, or any another skill that you want to take, whether it is a computer science engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, etc. But you should be aware, you should be knowing that whether you are that skillful or not, that your immense skill will overshadow the CGPA thing completely. But believe me, if you are just spending time around 4 to 5 days before the exam in a very systematic way, believe me, you can score a good CGPA. Now you might be saying that this guy is completely saying wrong things, but I am a living example of this particular thing. I am having a grand aggregate of 8.89 in my 7 semesters. Right now my 8th semester is going on. So next video will be a complete separate video about hacks that you can use to score a very decent CGPA in a very decent amount of time before the exams. So it will be into the next video, but still one part is pending in this video. So let us move forward to the fourth and the last part of the video. Let's go. Okay, so let us begin the fourth and the final part of the video, which is real life cases where CGPA was the game changer. Okay, this is a very big size and game changer. Okay, so the first case I would say is of one of my seniors into the company, Microsoft. Okay, let me give you a complete walkthrough that what happened. So this particular senior of mine about which I am talking, I am sorry, I would not take the name because it might create some of the problems in the future. But this guy was candidate master on code forces. Now those who know, being a candidate master on code forces is an excellent thing in itself. So he cleared all the technical initially all the coding rounds. He cleared 2 technical rounds as well as HR round for Microsoft that came into for the hiring in their campus, into their college. This guy created all the rounds. Apart from him, there was also another guy who was able to clear all the rounds, but the main problem was that if the total aggregate score of all of both the candidates was same at the end, so now coding score, interview score, technical communication, etc., whatever metric that they have decided, this both guys were almost similar in all the cases. So there was not any particular factor on basis of which they can distinguish between both of them. So at that point of time, at that instant, CGPA was the factor which was kept, and this senior who is friend of mine was rejected because he was not having that good CGPA. He was just having a CGPA of around 7.8, while the another candidate was having CGPA of 8.25. So as a result, he was rejected from the Microsoft for the package of 48 LPA at the fresher level. So this is the thing, that this is the power that CGPA can give you. Okay, so another example that I would give is of a company trading technology. Okay, so this is basically a finance company of US, and this company came for hiring into our college for summer intern. I also appeared for the role of quality assurance. I was also able to take the online assessment, but eventually got rejected into the interview. But no worries. This company came for four roles. First one was of C++ developer, another one was Java, third one was front-end developer, and the fourth one was quality assurance. So these were the four roles for which the company came for the hiring. And you won't believe the cutoff for the role of C++ developer was 8.96 CGPA into their first 4 semesters. Now, see, 8.96 is not a small number. 8.96 is a good CGPA. So, candidates who were some of my colleagues who were damn good at coding and programming, but they were rejected. They were not even allowed to sit for the online assessment of the company because company kept the criteria, means they were willing to select first n number of students based on the CGPA factor. So 8.96 was the cutoff for the role of C++. So you can imagine that how CGPA was important in this case. Okay, so now third case that I would like to give of myself is Oracle. Now those who are following the channel, I have uploaded a separate video of my interview experience in Oracle, that how I was able to clear 3 rounds, what was the preparation that I did, what was the questions that were asked to me during the interview, but eventually I was not able to crack the company. I have explained all these things into the detail, but whenever I entered into the interview room for the third round of mine, so see, let me give you a procedure. They used to forward your resume from one round, first round to second round to third round, and each and every time one assessment sheet is stapled behind your resume in which some of the scores of yours are written. For example, your score for object oriented programming, data structure, algorithm, problem solving based on the interview that you gave to the particular interviewer. So when I entered into the room for the third round, so my resume was kept over there in front of mine, and the interviewer did a circle on CGPA of mine, which was around 8.86 in my first 6 semesters. So whenever I was entering, I was watching the interviewer that he was reading my resume, and he just did a circle like this into my resume. And when he came and sat beside me and kept my resume in front of mine, I saw at that time that there was a mark with a red pen on my CGPA. So it means that even the companies like Oracle are also considering the CGPA factor whenever there is a clash or something like that into the interview. So yes, that is it from my side for this video, and this is the first video about breaking some myth that whether CGPA is important or not. In the next video, we will be discussing that if CGPA is important, yes, you can get the answer from this video. How to get a decent CGPA with decent amount of preparation and decent amount of time, not much more of the time, not much less of the time. So yes, that is it from my side for this video. We'll be meeting in the next video very soon, in which it will be some hacks, tips and tricks for scoring a good CGPA. But right now, this is it for the video. See you in the next video. Till then, keep learning and keep hardworking. Thank you very much.